Community business ball
In the morning as I rise, put on me trucks, so that exercise me want to fit, me want to fit.
There is never a break from keeping fit and maintaining great health. Join me, Mr. Fitness, weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. on Fit FM 96.7 as we jumpstart your day with fun aerobics exercises to get your heart pumping and your body moving. Get fit. It's worth it. Fit FM 96.7. Trelawney's Radio. Your life, your music.
Hi there. I'm Julia Meikle Benaya. Join me weekday evenings at 6 p.m. for Gospel and Soul, a program that gives you the very best in gospel music from Jamaica and around the world. That's Gospel and Soul, weekday evenings at 6 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Attending your doctor on a regular basis is a real challenge. Many patients have no urge to get out of home just for a checkup or physiotherapy. HASBA is Jamaica's medical concierge that brings healthcare to your home. We have a customer-centric team of professional doctors and compassionate nurses. Do you want a physician or a nurse to visit you in your comfort zone? Do you want a consultation now but want to pay later? We offer special packages and membership plans for regular home client services. Our services even include video call telemedicine, rehabilitation, one-on-one consultations, and so much more.
Be a member of the HASBA Medical Club and find out how you can receive unlimited doctor visits with one flat monthly fee. HASBA Medical Concierge Services, 10 Cornwall Street, Falmouth, Trelawney. Telephone 876-502-3362, 876-541-5992. HASBA Medical Concierge Services, just for you.
So here I am, the controversial Ed Wallace. I'm on Community Buzz every Monday afternoon on Fit FM 96.7. Call me. Our number is 876-482-4944. Let us discuss topics affecting your community: education, health, community development, infrastructure, and anything else. Remember, Community Buzz, Mondays on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Under the pressures of your life and it tough. Now stay down, mama, time pick it up.
real bass line from reggae music. Tell you, tell you. Good Monday afternoon. You know, I nearly said Wednesday again. You remember them week there? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Good afternoon, listeners. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Community Buzz here on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. All right, so we're getting ready this Monday afternoon to go into some very interesting, what should I say now, presentations. I hope discussion, because you can call me at 876-482-4944 here at Fit FM. All right, and you can you can find us on Facebook, as some of you are doing currently. So we have Facebook, we have Twitter, and we have our radio apps that you can find Fit FM. I hope sincerely that you will join us. As you may have noticed, we're in a new time slot, so to speak. Well, not quite new, but a shorter time slot to facilitate. Um, yeah, I mean, the station is growing, growing, growing. So we have to make adjustments to allow for programming and perfect programming. Huh? I want to say greetings to everybody, greetings to all the persons joining us this afternoon. I want to say that for those of you having birthdays, happy birthday to you. Birthday is going in the past week. Happy birthday. God's richest blessings to you, and we hope that you will have all the good things that you want for this upcoming year. I want to also say happy anniversary to those people celebrating anniversaries, and to include Fit FM 96.7. We're celebrating our anniversary all year this year. So to all my colleagues, everybody, I hope we are all enjoying our time here at Fit FM, and that God will carry us through this year into the next as we're looking forward. Um, Sick, for the sick people who are ill at home or in hospital. I want to say that last week, while I was doing this greeting section and all of that, I was talking about Sergeant Wallace and how he took away the birthday slot and was wishing everybody birthday and all that kind of thing. Remember, producer? All this time, Sergeant Wallace was in hospital, and I didn't know it at the time. So want to wish Sergeant Wallace well. Hope he recovers, come back to form. We don't want to miss him for too long. So, brethren and cuz, get well soon. Get well, get well, get well. We have another Muzzy Gillins. I have it written down here too. Light Gillins. I went to visit him in the hospital, and I promised to go back, but the activities are of such that I was not able to go back. So if anybody listening now knows Muzzy, tell him that Community Buzz was healing him up and wishing him get well soon. Wishing him fitness. Wishing him fitness from Fit FM 96.7. So both Muzzy and Sergeant Wallace, get well soon. Then I want to take some time out, as people are always losing people, whether by the gun, by the bike, especially what is happening now, and even some other motor vehicle. I don't know what is happening with motor vehicle accidents nowadays, but we seem to be having a lot of them, and then the crime rate is so horrible that, as I understand it, we have beaten 2011 figures for murders right now. And if my memory serves me right, on my reading, if not, I think it's 2011. So we are at September, we're beating the whole year for 2011, which was a record year in terms of murders or killings. So we always remember Andrea Garwood, Sister Andrea Garwood from the church, the Agape Christian Fellowship in Falmouth. Reverend Roti. I'm promoting him to Dr. Roti, you know, so I'm promoting him. But we want to say um, condolences to the Jones family and um, driver Jones at Falmouth Hospital, working in the transport department. He lost two members of his family recently, both to COVID. You know, and as I understand it, you know, one was in hospital, the other came to visit, and you know, the rest is history. So then, I think even when I went to visit Mosey, the idea was that you can only get one visitor per day. Big exposure. So, um, so just want to say condolences to the family of driver Jones, he and his family, in Duanville over there in Duanville, and to just pray God's blessing and that the comforter will always arrive to bring you comfort, and that the memory of your loved ones will be treasured and respected, and it will bring joy and pride to your hearts. Yeah. Not even to run from Duanville, just in that area yet, but I understand that there was a motorbike accident perhaps a day ago with a youngster who crashed around about 5 minutes from his house, just leaving his house, crashed on a motorbike and died. And just to say, yeah, the accidents are happening with all the motor vehicles, but I was in Upper Trelawney last week, in the wait a bit area, Thompsontown area, that area there, Albertown area, Low River, that kind of area, where I'm being told that the youngsters are just constantly killing themselves with the motorbikes. You know, every so often there's a motorbike crash, and it doesn't seem as if the youngsters are living out the injuries sustained in those crashes. So I just want to say, people, be careful. On the four-wheel front, again, Flatbridge is in the news, where seemingly, let me say, a station wagon ran over into the water, and one woman seemed to have drowned. The autopsy is not yet around, so we don't know if it's a drowning or anything else, but it would seem that is something around that. And then now the wrecker trying to pull that vehicle from the water, actually, as I hear it, slipped back into the river itself. So tragedy upon potential tragedy. Let us try to be careful. Two more youngsters from St. James died in St. Elizabeth. Again, motor vehicle accident. It's just all over the place. So we have to be careful with our driving. And young people, believe you me, you have a long way to go before you start speeding the way that you're currently speeding, because speeding seems to be the major cause of these crashes. So we just want to warn you and to say to you, yo, take time, youngster. Young Jenners, take time. Yeah? Take time with your riding. Want to go to the minutes and to just look back at some of the things we looked at on last week. Rockbridge, still on the agenda, still not hearing much about Rockbridge. But to complicate matters, no, the closing of that, should I call it Falmouth Town Center bypass? Falmouth Town Center bypass, where you come down to the hardware store there, Fisher's, yeah, where you don't just travel along the port and come down. Indeed, it was so convenient. Now the town is all jammed up, with the closing. I don't know what is intended there, and I'm saying this is something for the people of Falmouth and the road users in Falmouth to question. This is not a good thing at all, So I don't know, the authorities, please tell us what is happening there. I know that there's a rule that when you own a road, and now I'm hearing that Ports Authority owns that road, but when you own a road, the law is saying that you must close that road at least once per year, or else it becomes a public roadway. Yeah. So I don't know if that is true, and if true, if that is what is happening. But talk to us, Port Authority, because I am almost sure that we don't want to be in a quarrel. So talk to us. Um, Added to that now, crime, as I just said, is rising rapidly, and the kind of crime and the execution style, killing and all of that, because I don't think we can call it anything but executions going on now. And for what reason? We don't know. The easiest thing it seems nowadays is to just kill somebody in Jamaica. Just kill. I don't know when we have just graduated in this numbness towards death. And we're just killing each other. And I'm saying we need to begin to, oh Lord, find something in our better selves that would cause us not to be engaging in this kind of activity. I want to take a short break now as we head on the downside, and I'll come back with what's in the news, because we're going to do COVID next and then come back with what's in the news. We'll be right back. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. And this is Community Buzz with Ed Wallace. Yeah.
Do you operate a small business in Trelawney? Well, talk to us. Be a proud community partner of Fit FM 96.7. Let us help you reach your target audience for an unbelievably low cost. Contact our sales office today at 876-544-0791, 876-377-3442, or email us at fitfmsales@gmail.com. Fit FM 96.7, Trelawney's radio. Your life, your music.
Willis Williams, licensed electrician services. For all residential and commercial electrical wiring, repairs, maintenance, and more, call Willis Williams, licensed electrician services at 876-823-8271 or 358-1636. Willis Williams, licensed electrician services, located in Duncan's, Trelawney.
Amazing. You make my life feel brand new.
Join us on Be Inspired with Shuggy Tosh and DJ Jai
on Feed FM 96.7
every Tuesday between 12 noon and 2 p.m. Jamaican time.
You can also tune in via www.facebook.com/FeedFM 96.7.
You can't afford to miss it. Keep on being inspired on Fit FM.
Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh. Excess love, oh.
Promote your business on Fit FM Business Ball Out. Call 876-377-3442 or 876-317-1991. Don't be left out. Fit FM, a community business ball out.
Yes, we're back. That one caught me off guard a little bit. Yeah, so just to backtrack a little bit on the minutes, we also did talk about mosquito, and it's important that you remember the vector fight, where keep your places of abode and of work clean, free of mosquito breeding areas, whether it be old tires, old cans, all that kind of stuff. Keep it clean. I want to just welcome and to say hi to Delsa Cruz down there in Guyana, who is logged on to us right now. Hi. She just experienced her own bout with the new style COVID. Yes. I'm glad to see that you're up and about again, Delsa. And I just hope that you will be fully recovered and be back at your regular activities as per usual. Welcome to Community Buzz this afternoon. Yeah, so mosquito and the dengue relationship. I just want to say to you, please be mindful of that as you're constantly being mindful of the COVID issue. Um, Last week we also talked about the United Independent Congress. That's a new political party. They were planning a march. They have their 5-point platform. One of them is to get all 63 members of parliament to resign for whatever reason. I'm not so sure. The polls are not suggesting that even if you use the Westminster right of way right now, that any other party could have won an election or win an election in Jamaica right now, save for the serving party in power. So I don't know what that is all about. But it seemed to have made good press for the gentleman and his party. In some quarters, it says that if you've not been arrested, you can't really run party politics. Bustamante style, and whoever else went to jail, Pernell Charles, Babsy Grange, all those kind of people. But so you're in good company, leader of the United Independent Party. But we still would want to hear from you and to hear what your plans are. So the door at Fit FM still open for a discussion with you in relation to your agenda. We would want to see certainly what is happening with that. COVID. So let us deal first with the statistics. For Saturday, we had 429 cases. Still not down to where we need to get it down. We need to get it, to my mind, under 100. Yeah, 429 new cases. 10 deaths between September 18th and September 24th. It suggests to me that the deaths are going down because that is 18, count with me now, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5 days, 10 deaths. So 2 per day, average, 2 per day. So the deaths are going down, which is good, which is excellent. And we currently have 28,260 active cases. So when you have recorded those active cases, you know much more than that, because once one person touch another, it is likely, or 3 others, you know that there's going to be an exponential explosion. So we still need to be keeping the COVID protocols, still need to be wearing our mask, and get vaccinated. That's my encouragement. Get vaccinated. And I'll tell you a little bit more about vaccination. Well, I'll tell you now, the vaccination sites, the government is actually increasing the number of vaccination sites we have across Jamaica, permanent vaccination sites. And right now, the Falmouth Hospital, or the Falmouth Health Center, really, is one of those permanent vaccination sites that you can actually go and get vaccinated on a daily basis now. So you're being encouraged to go. Today, when I passed by, the numbers were really clicking for people rolling in to get the vaccine. And I'm going to encourage you. I don't know what is going to happen in the future, but I just figured that at some stage, it is going to cost us to get the vaccine or not to get the vaccine. And what I mean by that is there's going to come a time when COVID vaccine is not going to be free. And you can't wait till the last minute rush when you hear that it's not going to be free anymore. You start running to get it. It's best for you to stroll in now. There's seemingly coming a time when you can't do anything without being vaccinated. Yeah? So we're talking about visas for international travel. Let me not say name out countries, but visas for international travel. And even getting jobs in certain areas. I know the trade union movement is now interacting with the Employers Federation and government to determine how mandatory vaccination is going to carry, along with many other things. Because the truth of the matter is, this is a true and big debate. You have the right not to get vaccinated, but the people who are vaccinated have the right not to get COVID from you. And so there's a big debate going on there as to whether or not we're going to be able to legitimately interact with each other at work, vaccinated and unvaccinated, with this virus going around. It's a terrible thing because you have some anti-vaxxers who, for no good reasons, spreading rumors, 666, mark of the beast, all kind of things. And I was having a conversation with, I don't know why I always end up with pastor friends. I was having a conversation with a pastor last week while on a trip to Top Trelawney. And when the question of, for some reason, the question of the vaccine came up and the whole business of 666. And I said to him that my belief, my personal belief, is that 666, and it's unconventional, really. 666 is not about any visible mark at all. 666, the mark of the beast, is about the first attempt to dishonor God. The first attempt in heaven to dishonor God. 666, accepting the mark of the beast. There's a new thought, new age religion, new age, what spirituality? That we are God. And it's the same thing or a similar thing that Satan attempted to carry out against God in heaven. So when you begin to spread that kind of I am God, we are God kind of argument, I believe that is the acceptance of that mindset that is really the mark of the beast. That's the mark of Satan, to challenge God and his position, to say that you are now God. So whether you're accepting it in your mind, which is associated with your head, or associating it or accepting it in your hand, which is really what you're doing as you go about your daily activities and business. So if you're operating like you're God, or thinking that you're God, really and truly, you're kicking against the pricks. You're putting up an affront to God, just like Satan. And I think that is the exact mark of the beast. I don't know what any other pastor would think. But you see, once your mind goes, and that is why God said, in some circumstance, that he's going to leave us to a reprobate mind. That's leaving us to the mark of the beast. Yeah. So, I don't know. Some people quoting scriptures and they're saying that in Psalms and in one of Paul's writing, Paul say, we are God, and the psalmist say we are gods, but they're not reading the small g, and they're not reading the interpretation in a way to accommodate from missing apostrophe when you see G-O-D-S. So, and when Paul write about gods, you have to be careful too, because Paul actually wrote that we are more than Nike, the same Nike there, same Tiki Nike. We are more than Nike, and Nike is a Greek god. So Paul was saying that we are more than gods, but not really more than gods. We're saying we are more than Nike. Nike is a god. We have turned it out in translation, in English translation, to be we are God, and we're taking that on. That is the mark of the beast. Not COVID injection. Not no printing, not no chip in your head, but a thought, accepting the thought that we ourselves are God. As some see it. I don't know how you all see it, but that is how I see it. I don't know. I continue to accept that I am a child of God. And that's the furthest I would go. I continue to accept that Christ said we can do everything through him. I consider to accept that if we have faith as a mustard seed, we can move mountains. But I am not God. I am not God. You know? So that to my mind is 666. I could think about that. Can challenge me about it if you want. All right. We have Conrad Henry just joining us. Mel Cinder, you are late. I was wondering about you, but welcome, welcome, welcome. And Conrad Henry, welcome. From Atlanta? Yeah. Okay, DJ Smiles. Yeah, man. Pleasure meeting you, sir. Pleasure meeting you. Yeah. So now with this COVID vaccine thing, please consider carefully. This is not the mark of the beast. If this is the mark of the beast, then every vaccine that we got before now could be considered marks of the beast. Every time we get a new piece of ID could be considered mark of the beast, because for our own security, we can't go around with identification. Now, when we're changing ID, we say we're changing ID to go to the mark of the beast. We don't have it already then. Why is our NIS not mark of the beast? Why is our TRN not mark of the beast? While our social security numbers in the States not mark of the beast. But no is mark. I can't see it. I can't see it. Go take your COVID vaccine. It is, we don't, somebody said to me the other day, we really don't know what is in Kentucky Fried Chicken. A lot of us love it. So for those of us who eat KFC, we can take the vaccine. We can take that. And there are a lot of other things that we don't know, right? And we can wait until we are on our deathbeds, dying, before we say, yes, 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 we'll take the vaccine. Because you cannot take the vaccine then. You can't have COVID and take the vaccine. At least that is the common understanding as it stands right now. So you can catch it first or suspect say you have it and go take the vaccine. It could perhaps do you in. So be careful. If you're safe and healthy now, go take the vaccine. People of Martha Brae, take the vaccine. People of Falmouth, go take the vaccine. Salt Marsh, go take the vaccine. Cooper Spen, go take the vaccine. Upper Trelawney, try. Wait a bit, Ulster Spring, Lower River, Thompson Town, Joe Hut, my producer's favorite place. Go take the vaccine. Go take the vaccine. Yeah, it is proving to work out for those of us who have taken the vaccine and still catch COVID. It has worked out to having a less impact. Some of those people have been able to stay at home and recover. So go take the vaccine. Go take the vaccine. So that is all I have to say about that in relation to COVID. I don't know if anything else will come up in a little while. All right, so I promised you that you can go to the ODPM website, you can go to the Prime Minister's Facebook page. I think you can go to the opposition leaders page, you can go to your local politician. All of them are advertising the new permanent centers. All right, and we understand that some mobile centers will also be coming along just to make sure that Jamaicans take the vaccine. The other thing I'm missing this. The Pfizer vaccine is no better than any other vaccine. Same properties. No, it operates the same way. No better, no worse. Right? And so we have reserved the Pfizer vaccine for school-age children based on what has been happening in the United States and the research in that area. But for adults, all the vaccines are pretty much the same, no different. All right, and now they're looking at taking the vaccine to under 12 years old too. Yeah, so all of that is happening as we develop. But for all intent and purpose, currently vaccine seem safe. I want to move a little bit now. I want to move a little bit now into the headlines and the news that we've been carrying. Say again? Oh, our numbers, please remember our numbers. Our number 876-482-4944. So please, if you want to call, if you want to text WhatsApp, please do. You know, I'm searching for Counselor of the Falmouth Division, Garth Wilkinson. If anybody is listening and can get touch base with him, I'd love to talk to him this afternoon. I wanted to call him out before I came on air and was not able to. But I'd like to have a little discussion with him as we had planned earlier in terms of Water Square and Bolt statue. I want to talk a little bit more about that. So Councillor Garth Wilkinson, if anybody out there is hearing, want to touch base with him on my behalf, please do. So that is that. 876-482-4944. Call us for any discussion. So here what happened. Oh, wow, again, new, local, Trelawney. Before the international people get involved right now, what is happening with the roadways in Trelawney with respect to roadside bushing? I cannot understand where, for example, to Stone Road, to Danieltown Road, if you are to swerve or to turn off the road to try to save yourself an accident in that road, you can see nothing. The bush is actually in the road. Authorities, we're begging you, please look at that. There's another, even in Stuart Castle here, right? The bush is in the road. Going to Granville, going on to Bounty Hall, the bush is in the road. Going up to Wakefield, the bush is in the road. I don't know, we must can do better than that, because the side of the road should be clearly seen so that if you need to save somebody's life. Not only that, these unbushed area, they're forcing pedestrians into the middle of the road. And nobody nowadays is really conscious of wearing light clothing when they're walking on the road, right? So you're really sometimes coming up on the person before you, as a driver, see that somebody is in the road. It's only simple road safety at this point in time that the government, the local authorities, whoever the responsible agency, start do some bushing, man, please. If it's not necessary everywhere else, because it's Trelawney, you know, because in traveling in Upper Trelawney too, I've seen evidence of that. The bush going over in the road, except where the landslides have washed away those little areas. But the bush is growing over in the road. And the roots of the bush have a tendency to destroy asphalt. I don't know how them little roots they do it. But it begins to destroy the asphalt, dislodge the particles, the grains of stone or whatever is in the asphalt. And when the rain comes, it just washes it away. Let us do something about the roads, please. As I said, we spoke about the crashes and the bikes and the so on and so forth already. So I won't go back over Flatbridge and everything. There's a little sporting matter that I want to come to, but I come to Falmouth first. Let me just tell you, the sporting matter is with respect to Elaine Thompson, hooray, Hira, and Stephen Francis. So I'm going to say my little piece on that one. But before we get there, the model for Water Square was unveiled last week. And I don't know if it's on constant show at the town hall, but the people in the diaspora and Friends of Falmouth were able to interact with both the current mayor, Mr. Colin Gager, and the former mayor, Mr. Gart Wilkinson, on the design and everything. Now, the people I'm hearing, they seem to all approve of the design so far. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. No, I don't think that I've properly been able to look at it because I've only been able to look at it on my phone. But Mr. Gart Wilkins and the mayor was actually putting forward the argument that the significance of what Water Square in terms of its history from the 1700s is going to be maintained and retained pretty much in the same way that I kind of explained it. You remember that, producer? Remember that three levels of importance for Water Square: the public health, the history, the firstness, if I can make another word to the the firstness of our positioning in the Western world with respect to running water. Yeah. And so from what I heard in that particular interaction, those will be somehow retained. I don't see it yet, but I'm hoping that it is as beautiful as I imagine it could be, because this story need to be told. I have no doubt that the story of Bolt will be told. I have no doubt about that. But I still would love to see a little Olympic Park somewhere out there, which would include Veronica Campbell and the other athletes from Trelawney. Yeah, I would still love to see a little village there. I'd still love to see quite a few things. A cutout of Mr. Bolt passing a baton where I can go hand off to Bolt or collect a baton from Bolt and take a picture. Same thing with Veronica, running the relays with them and all of that kind of a thing. You know, I don't know. And I don't even know if there's a way to gain change from that to assist with little things in the town like feeding of the homeless and all that kind of a thing. But I'd love to see this nicely developed. All in all, I want to say, since there seemed to be some consensus, congratulations to the powers that be and all the persons working on this project to make it happen. I really want to see it. I'm going to, it's perhaps at a late stage now, but I really want to go look at the design for myself and to, just rest my mind that this is going to be as beautiful as possible, as decorative as possible. But that's a Trelawney to the world. 87648249444. This is Fit FM Community Buzz with Ed Wallace, the control. No, I think at one time that this mayor had successfully dealt with this issue, at least to some extent. But I noticed it looked like the public bathroom that used to be in Falmouth either disappear or relocate. I don't know what is happening. But Falmouth is stink. This is like France, Paris in the 1700s. It is stink. And I don't know what we can do about it. Road washing could perhaps help. But if we stop the easing of our bodies on the roads of Falmouth, that would more likely help. So what are we going to do about the public conveniences? Because to give credit, or not credit, but to give sympathy to some people, especially the older ones, when the bathroom them, if they exist, are too far to walk to, it causes problems. And nobody want to pee on themselves. I'm going to take which taxi? I'm appealing to the authorities to find a way to help solve these issues. And I'm appealing to the people who don't have to do it, not to do it. And it's just so sickening. And especially the males, they just any like a dog. Any wall, it don't make any wall. I mean, we're laughing, but it's a serious thing. It is a serious thing. We cannot continue like this and to say that Falmouth is going to be entertaining guests locally and internationally. That don't look good. So now, if Garth Wilkinson, former mayor, current councillor, would give me a call, he's a councillor responsible for Falmouth. If the mayor could give us a call on these issues, I would appreciate it. Can we call them though? If we could, that would be nice. So we're trying to set up to perhaps call them. If we get through, you will know, because they will certainly be here. All right. So we look at Falmouth and what is happening with Falmouth and some of the things we need to do. Floyd Green is in the news again. Last time I was here, we were here together. The portions of the diaspora was trying to get a petition signed up for his reinstatement. I'm a cuss. Mr. Diaspora, leave this to us because it look like ununasi wagwan. It look like ununasi wagwan. So, lo and behold, what is happening now is a quarrel about the inequities of the treatment of Mr. Green against the treatment of some other Jamaicans, which I also pointed out at the time. Push it in the. Yeah, I understand we have a caller, so let us join because this is quite fascinating now. Hello, good afternoon, caller. Hello, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Hello, good
Afternoon, how you
afternoon,
doing?
caller.
Hello?
No, I'm
hearing
not
me?
hearing. Yeah, I'm not hearing. I don't know what is
Hello?
happening. We'll sort that out pretty soon.
Hello?
We will be sorting out. Yes, better now. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Yes, you're speaking to.
How are you doing, Wallace?
I am well, thank you ever so much.
Okay, all right. So I'll call about two issues
Two issues,
that I
sir.
have on my agenda.
Mhm.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna start with the first one. The first issue that I call about, right? Everybody is bashing the government about the vaccine,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The question what I want to ask, right?
Mhm.
Did Andrew Holness or Mr. Christopher Tufton make this vaccine? They are just going off the instruction that they get about this vaccine to give to the people out there. So I don't see why people are bashing the government about the vaccine, right? He's trying to save some people life, and people don't look on it that way. People look on it and say, boy, this vaccine is it's here to kill you or wipe out the population or some chip. I don't look on it that way, which everybody have a view how to look at it, right?
Mm-hmm. You sound like a
Whenever you
wise
go,
man. You sound like a wise man in relation to what you're explaining to us right now. Would you care to tell me what area of Jamaica or the world you're calling from?
I'm in Duncan.
You're in Duncans. All right.
Right.
Go right ahead, sir. Go right ahead.
So when I look into it, with whatever illness you have, right? And the doctor said, okay, I would have to give you an injection, Do you ask the doctor what you're getting in that injection? You don't know.
Yeah. Generally, you don't.
Whatever you're getting in it.
Yeah, generally you don't.
Understand? Right. So overall, whenever you go to the doctor, you don't know what the doctor gives. The doctor says, boy, I'm giving you this, you can go read up about it and whatever side effects it have and what it can do. Right? I take that vaccine from the first come to Jamaica. Right? And I'm not going to tell a man, say, hey, go on, take the vaccine. Yes, I can encourage you, but what? It's your decision to make.
True.
And whenever you don't take that vaccine, every time you have a spike, that is when you're going to have a new variant emerge because you're unvaccinated.
You're studying, man.
And enough people do not look on it that way. So each time somebody catch this, it have a valuable chance to mutate to a stronger version.
Correct.
Right? So, people need to make a decision if they want to see them country come back to where it was before or 90% where it was, they have to go out there and take that vaccine. If you don't,
indeed.
Your country don't always in shambles, you're going to always have lockdown. And then guess what? Everybody will get up and start because the government. The government is not the problem. We is the problem. I understand?
I tend to agree with you.
Is the problem.
I tend to agree with you, Carlo.
You understand? So until they can take the vaccine, the problem can solve.
Yeah. So your second point. You ready for your second point?
All right. So my second point. Duncan Main Road. I see we're in whenever you're coming into Duncan's, we have some major pothole in Duncan's leading into the town, in and out Duncan's town, both direction. Right? The MP office is in Duncan's, and I know most aware of this situation. And trust me, you're gonna have a great accident in Duncan's because who is coming into Duncan's whenever they come up on those potholes is the right hand side of the road them end up on, so break hard.
That's a road passing Kiki Rouge. That's a road passing Kiki Rouge coming up that hill.
Right before you reach right as you come up. When you come up Silverson, that part Silverson turn off and coming up.
My driver and I nearly had an accident the other day, right in that vicinity.
Boy, I tell us, I have some near miss on that road. That need to be corrected now. It is too long now.
And it's either bumping in the back or sideway crashes where people are overtaken when people are trying to turn.
Something need to be done to that road. Long time those who are and the NWC dig them up and leave it.
I will add that to the agenda. NWC, and they have a road reinstatement agreement with the government that when they damage the road, they should fix it back. So NWC, if you have that arrangement, the scholar is pointing it out. If you're listening, come fix the road. Go ahead, sir.
The question what I want to ask now, if I have an accident there, right, and say, I have a serious accident and my vehicle get damaged, can I sue NWC?
I'm not a lawyer, sir, but But hear me, follow me now. If you're going to Montego Bay and you crash into one of those light poles, then you are swivel. Your insurance is liable to fix back that pole. That's what the government say. So if the government has that,
Yes, but
then I suppose that you could test this in court. I wouldn't discourage you from testing it, from taking the government to court for this. I wouldn't discourage you.
Yeah, because there is the one who responsible for it.
True.
Okay, so Mr. Wallace.
Yes, sir.
All right, living in Duncan's down by Red Dirt. We have a light pole.
You've skipped out a little bit. We're having some reconnection problems.
We report.
No.
Report
You
this
have to start that again, please. Location.
All right. You hearing me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, so I live in Red Dirt. That is where you're going down by the clinic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have a light pole, right, which is tipped in. It's falling over.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and we keep on reporting this light pole, and every time somebody come inspect it, and that is it. Right. For all this light pole is falling over. The wire that lead from that pole to the houses, they are actually bursting because the
tension on it.
That it's
I'm suspecting that's a wooden pole or a concrete pole.
That's a wooden pole.
All right, so I'm suspecting that is rotten at the root.
Which is rotten in the root, and we keep on reporting it. And the last time, what I said to them is, listen, I even record the call and say, listen, whenever this pole fall over and it damage anything in my house, they have to take responsible.
We're not talking about anything, sir. We're not talking about anything. We're talking about you or your family. We're not just talking about anything.
Well,
so
this is a serious thing. Mr. Edwards, you are so right. You are so right on that one. You understand? But they would have to stand responsible.
Have you taken a picture of it and sent it to them?
We do everything. As I said, they come and inspect it themselves. So I don't know what the report what them put upon the paper. More than one time they come and inspect it.
All right, I tell you what though. Take a picture and WhatsApp it to the same number. When you can, not necessarily right now. And let us see what we can do. I might still have friends in JPS who would need to hear this.
Okay, not a problem. I will do so.
Even though it shouldn't take friends to do that. Yeah, even though it shouldn't take friends. It's just
the next thing,
customer service.
Like how we on the JPS topic.
Mm-hmm.
I hear people complaining about this lock off a light. We have that problem here also, where they are locking off the light.
Mm-hmm.
Every day they shut off the light, and I really cannot understand why.
A whole lot of communities are having that kind of problem too. Here in Trelawney, I don't know if it exists elsewhere, but the truth is, when you go to the website for JPS, sometimes you can see on your phone, the JPS app, you can see all the places in Jamaica that are having problems, and I don't know what's the issue, because there was once a time in JPS, perhaps Mirant days, those are ancient days now, when the conventional wisdom in JPS is that it is not profitable to JPS for customers not to have light, because that is revenue being lost. That is power not being sold. Somehow that concept seems abandoned at this point in time. And so what you're having is this constant power cut, even in areas where business are depending on it. And it seemed to me that JPS does not even understand that so much of our lives now depend on the power from JPS, including the way we do work from home, the way we apply for
Mr.
jobs,
Wallace,
the way our children
Mr.
study.
Wallace,
Yes, sir.
we never usually having this problem, From them come and put a meter on that pole, we start having that problem.
Yeah.
They install a meter on the pole.
Yeah.
That is from that the problem started.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that meter do.
I'm going to explore that properly, because I'm not going to take that one, and I've heard what it is supposed to do, but I want to be sure that that is the same one that was employed in Kingston at some point in time, where if people begin to steal electricity, it knocks out the power for a whole community or a big piece of the area. So I had a conversation with a gentleman from JPS in that regard, and the argument was tending to that. But I want a better, more official explanation, because he was even putting the responsibility on the citizens to ensure that other citizens don't steal power. And I could not understand that argument at all.
That don't make any sense, because people who pay them bill, they must suffer.
Exactly.
They must suffer the consequence at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You understand? So I don't see the sense in that.
And
what? And when I really sit down and look into it, right? You have some days carry 31 days, some days carry 30 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you lock off the current every day for the month from 11 to 5, from 3 to 6 or 7, right? When you get a light bill is still the same.
Still the same. I was waiting to see if that was a point you were going to make. Still the same.
It's still the same. So it's like them charge you for the hours, them lock off the light also.
And I wouldn't tell you not to think that way. And the reason why I wouldn't tell you not to think that way, if they can afford to lock off the light that kind of way, willy-nilly, and then still get back revenue, why try the strategy that was years ago, that if the customer don't have light, you don't make money? They must be making money taking off the light. They must be making money. And so,
Mr. Wallace,
I'm going to do another course in relation to this. You hear me, sir? To JPS. I'm definitely going to do another course in relation to this.
All right.
Thank you for calling and for sharing. All right. And I hope you continue to listen to Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music, and particularly to Community Buzz. I hope I will help in the future. All right. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, man. We take a break and we will be right back. The customer, that caller, that customer of JPS was right on point. And then the question of NWC and the road and suing for damages is perhaps a relevant question, because if government can sue you for damaging government property, then it must be reversible. It must be reciprocal. So, Mekwesi, we take a break. We'll be right back.
Promote your business on Fit FM Business Ball Out. Call 876-377-3442 or 876-317-1991. Don't be left out. Fit FM, a community business ball out.
In the morning, as I rise, put on my chucks, so got exercise, me want fit, me want fit.
There is never a break from keeping fit and maintaining great health. Join me, Mr. Fitness, weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. on Fit FM 96.7 as we jumpstart your day with fun aerobics exercises to get your heart pumping and your body moving. Get fit. It's worth it. Fit FM 96.7, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music.
Fresh oil, A practical prophetic approach, applying the Bible to everyday life. Do you know how to hear God? How can we rejoice in trials, finding the light in the darkness? What will the end times look like? Join Bishop Robert Dowell from Sanctuary Ministries International every Thursday evening inside Gospel and Soul from 6 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Send a WhatsApp through the studio for prayer and counseling on 876-482-4944. That's 876-482-4944. This is Prophetess Lydia Thompson Dowell on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Yes, we're right back. We're back. Want to just welcome teacher. Teacher is on with us at Facebook, Danica Dona. And guess what? She's also from Agape Christian Fellowship. We mentioned Agape earlier on in our program. And then Keith Walker, a very good friend of mine. Good to have you, Keith. Leper, just cool them on with them, man. All right? So welcome to the Fit family, and I hope you continue listening. Now, just to kind of backtrack on the call that the caller made a while ago, NWC and Rotary statement, we need to deal with that. Leaning light pole in a red ground, or red dirt actually, red dirt, Duncans. That's a dangerous run. JPS need to deal with that. JPS also needs to be cognizant of the fact that when we're having technology difficulties, when we're having gadget difficulties for the students already, we're putting on top of that now power problems for the students, not to mention businesses, not to mention people who are waiting on calls through WhatsApp on their phones to get jobs, to participate in industry. Come on, JPS, what are you doing? And then you're putting JPS, you're putting yourself in a position again to be called a set of thieves. Because really and truly, when you lock off the light that many times during the day, it not show up on the light bill. No reduction is reflected. So come on, do better than that, and let us get some explanation as to what is happening. Some logic as to what is happening. Also, the Duncans roads, dangerous roads there, entering Duncans from the Falmouth end. You know, we need to do something about it. Yeah, so I was saying Floyd Green. The people in the diaspora, now I'm going international, gone foreign. People in the diaspora know that you're seeing what is happening. It's a highlighting of the disparity between the seeming disparity between what is the treatment of Floyd Green, a government minister, as opposed to a little barefoot man in the street and him out of others. Yeah? And you must expect that kind of a thing because Jamaica is a how come country. The first thing we were asking is how comes. When it comes to anything regarding government and mishandling of any situation is how comes. Because there's always a parallel to be drawn. And so that is why I say allow Mr. Floyd's resignation to stand for the time that it will stand, allow it to run its course. Justice must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done. Motty Perkins used to tell me that every day. Yeah? and so allow the Floyd Green situation to get sorted out as it is being sorted out. I see Mr. Bunting was one of the persons making that kind of comparison. But I'd say this to Mr. Bunting, I'm not so sure that with the popularity that I saw on Floyd Green and that situation, I don't know that there's any political traction to be gained from this. Not that it shouldn't be mentioned, but I'm still saying to the PNP, you have a lot of issues that you can't do no fast food situation with the condition that you're in, People's National Party. I recall in the 1983 situation when there was a 60-seat government in power with Mr. Seaga. I recall what Michael Manley did. He reclined, got back into the party, rebuilt, and at 1989 came back with a massive defeat of the incumbent Jamaica Labour Party at the time. You have to sit down and you have to listen more. No fast food thing, none of this. Following the headline is not going to help your People's National Party. You have to get back to your roots. You have to build back. You have to get back your Karen Cross and those people. You have to be united. The people are not listening, your PNP. The people are not listening. All right? So the thing is to just, not that you're not going to touch the issues, because crime is fair game. Crime is fair game. All right? You might even want to take up a road accident, motor vehicle accident. Health, except for COVID, is fair game. Right? So there are a lot of issues that you can pick up that might gain some traction without damaging the country in such a way that it would be so damaged for you that you can't do anything better either, even if you got the country to run. But then again, I'm just a little chatterbox on radio. Yeah? All right, so now comes the mix-up with Daryl Vaz with visa issue again. And we should know that same knife, stick, sheep, stick, goat, and a long time, and I know all people have said that. And I know all people have said that. And I'm saying to you that when you start to question Daryl Vaz's visa and the condition under which he got back his visa, how comes I tell you, Jamaica is an outcome country, how comes the other man not get back fame yet? How comes when a year said the other man get back fame? Is his situation as a leader in the other party, perhaps now resigned, but a leader nonetheless, is his situation any different, any better than Mr. Vaz's situation? I'm just asking. Yeah? So when you're exploring the thing, maybe it's a job of the JLP to explore that question. And so you might leave it up to say, we are questioning Vaz. If JLP want question, Paul will let them, But I don't think we're picking at the right fruits right now. Jamaica in a whole heap of trouble that the PNP must form itself into a credible alternative. When I look and see the United Independent Congress staging a march and getting 100 supporters to come out there in COVID time against the odds with respect to police and going against the law. When I see them doing that, when I see that they're able to do that, trust me, it kind of shows that there's much to be desired from the standing opposition, Her Majesty's loyal opposition. And I've said on this program before, as much as I would want my party at any point in time, the one that I would have voted for, to hold government, I would not like the idea of no challenge, of no credible opposition. Jamaica can't take that. We are a two-party democracy so far. I wish it could be three. But Jamaica has no time to just make one set of people run country, so with no challenge. And so the PNP has to get its act in order. You see, controversial, Ed. Let me not get controversial this evening any more than I have been so far. All right. So I'll leave it right there. This Dalvas thing, this suspect and allegations and all of that. Tipia, a man that I'm not fond of, former US ambassador, came out and said, look, we made a mess of this thing with Dalvas. I was actually hoping to hear him say we made a mess of this thing with Paulwell too. I don't hear that one yet. But we made a mess of things with Dalvas. What are we going to do now? Kill a man on suspicion? Any man that is? I know say it go. That is not how law run in our country. All right? And so once the US authorities have said, guess what? We were wrong. And I'm going to make a word now. I'm going to make a word again. We are being wronger now by putting that kind of label in the man's passport with respect to his visa. I think we should be celebrating. Jamaica should be celebrating and not trying to fight it. And we should be hoping that the same thing would happen to our former Minister of Government, bright spark in Jamaican politics, that situation would be reversed with Mr. Paulwell too. You know? So let's look at that. This we must find a better way to fight politics. Boom. With that being said, I want to take a little in sports now. Stephen Francis and Elaine Thompson. I'm afraid to mash up her last name because every time I hear her name, I just say Elaine. Hooray! So, I don't know what is developing with that, and I don't know how many persons are interested. But from what I hear, Stephen Francis is being offered an opportunity to train international athlete, and it seems specifically American. And some people are suspecting that athlete that was so out of sorts and out of place run last in the race, the Diamond League race. The chick what they call, she can't run. Yeah? She can't, that chick. And Stephen Francis is being offered that. Now, to my mind, a money, Nike pay him money. Perhaps whole heap of money too. And it's up to Stephen Francis to determine whether or not he want to take on that. But with this split with Ilian now, Ilian I am not the biggest fan of Ilian, in as much as she is extremely successful. But she would be very, very right if she saw a conflict of interest developing and decided to walk away from Francis. She would be very, very right. Because why would you want to bring the competition in the camp? No, there's perhaps no better trainer, no better coach than Stephen Francis. And I would want to stay. But in fairness, Stephen Francis has the right to go make money the way he wants to make it. And to continue to make money the way he wants to make it. But Ilian has also the right to say, yo, big man, I'm going to do it with you, This is adultery. The marriage out for mash-up. So, I don't know what the brouhaha is about in terms of that conflict. But I'm saying, if that is the nature of the conflict, then I can agree with Ilian if that's the argument that she's making out, even though Stephen Francis is the best coach the world has ever seen. We love Stephen. Yeah? I would love to hear you on that. 876-482-4944. Call me. The line's still open, even though we're on the downside of 5. A little bit about the environment. I want to touch that too. I say Hurricane in a Clarendon, not hurricane, tornado in a Spalding's area last week. I say, what going on so? We've had some freak storms across Jamaica every now and again, your roof tear off and this happen. But tornado, that's not a frequent, and those were real. I thought I saw two cones. Yeah, but it's not a regular feature. So I don't know what little Jamaica can do about climate change, except for ball out in the international forum, UN, and any other forum that we have to deal with climate change. But we have to be consistent. I see a big storm, Sam, big hurricane out there now, Sam. It's not threatening land any at all, but the magnitude of that storm, and it's supposed to hit Cat 4, Category 4. Something is happening. And does anybody feel the heat in the day? Because I thought I was experiencing menopause. The place hot. The place is hot. So climate change is real. So anything we can do to play our part with respect to protection of the climate, let us try and do it. There are some areas where we're going to have to explore our environment in order to survive as a country. But let us now button down our minds to the idea of sustainable development. Let us buckle up our mind to that concept. I'm rushing topic after topic now because I'm watching what is happening. The caller that called me today spoke about COVID vaccination, and getting rid of COVID as much as we possibly can in Jamaica. And he made a very solid point. Jamaica will not come back. Had it not been for COVID, Jamaica would be way ahead economically because there has been no major shocks to world economy, save and except for COVID. And so it would seem to me, it's not as sure as night follow day, but it would seem to me that if we could control COVID, bring it to a level where we can do business as a country, especially with our tourist product, it looks like Jamaica can make that comeback that the government wants to come back with Jamaica Build Back or Build Back Jamaica. Jobs depend on it. Schooling depend on it. Are we seeing yet the level of dunceness that is going to pertain if we don't get the kids back in school? Are we seeing that we are going to be on the cutting edge of ignorance if we don't? I laugh, but Granny say you have to take serious things back, laugh. If we're not careful, we are going to be on the cutting edge of ignorance as a country. And so not taking care with respect to COVID-19, spreading it, setting up our international businesses and visitors to be affected as badly as our locals, in a suit way. And there will be a time when we can find a formula to come back into partying and into entertainment and all of that. But we don't have COVID under control yet. If we are to build back better, Jamaica has to make a comeback from COVID. The options are to work with the protocols, all the protocols, all right, and to take the vaccine. My encouragement is that you take the vaccines, Jamaica. My encouragement is that you take the vaccine. This vaccine is not 666. 666 is believing or acting like your God. That is when you take the mark of the beast. That's the mark of Satan, believing that he is God. So when we start believe that we are God, that is us accepting the mark. That are just my argument. You can check it out theologically with your pastors and with your Bible study group. But for this afternoon, is Community Buzz with Ed Wallace over and out. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. See you next week.